What's wrong with video games today? Well, not the video games themselves, but most of these developers. Oh god, you just want me to rant like Mark does, don't you, Gold? Well, like my reasoning for what's wrong with video game developers today is there's so much hand-holding in video games. When you've got companies that made franchises, and they started out these franchises with being balls hard, and then they turned them and watered them down into a stupid piece of crap, where the main games themselves will still be well made, and still be well acted, voice acted, and stuff like that, but they may not be any good. Then it gets worse when you get into mobile games. You get companies like, in this case, Square Enix, where they will make games that they just want to make money. They don't give a crap about making a good game or making people happy. So, well, what do? They just shovel out some game. Oh, it's free. It's free. Oh, but if you want to beat it, give me $100. Oh, you didn't beat it? Another $100. Oh, you didn't beat it? Another $100. Like, you gotta pay if you want to beat it. That's just bad. And then you got other companies that used to develop good games that now do crap. Like, I'm concerned that Dragon Quest could become that way. They could become watered-down garbage, eventually. They do have a bunch of mobile games that are crap. And I don't agree that they should have games like that are crap. But it is what everybody else is doing. Doesn't make it right, but that's what everybody else is doing. So, of course, they're going to do it too. Like, they have their stupid... Yeah, the DLC, God. But then they have the stupid, games like... I forget what it's called. The game that... It's actually fun. But you gotta pay in order to play the game. And it's one for the iPhone and everything, where you play characters, and it's like Dance Dance Revolution with your finger. Right? And you're tapping the screen in order to hit the buttons. And that game is actually really fun. It's a stupid, simple little game, and it's fun. Oh, but you want to be able to get all the songs? If you add it all up, it's like $500 to get all the songs. But if you want to get it on, what do you call it, on a PS Vita, for example, you can get like a $100 version that will have all the songs. You want to reskin your favorite character? Pay us. See, that's another thing that's wrong with the gaming, you know? Like, you know what they did with Destiny? Season Pass. Oh, you don't get every season, just the first two. You buy the legendary version of Destiny? Oh, you just get the first 2 seasons of the game. You want to get more? You gotta pay for more DLC. It's just ridiculous. And then you got franchises like Pokemon, where they have to make 2 at once just to get extra money, and I hate that. And then you got franchises like Capcom with Street Fighter, where, oh, we gotta have Street Fighter. Oh, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Alpha, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter... Like, do you really need that many games? Really? When it's a rival bitch, send out Raticate. I love that I named him Bitch. Are you kidding me, Hubert? Nintendo's done lots of this crap. Who do you think publishes Pokemon? Nintendo. They're not the ones that make it, but they're the ones that, whatever the word is, publish, release, I don't know. Import. I can't think of any company these days, except for indie companies, that haven't resorted to the cheap tricks that many of the other companies use. Even when games were being made for enjoyment, most of the time it was made for money. Like, when you look at games like Dragon Quest, the first ones, and Final Fantasy, those were made for enjoyment and to last a long time. You could pay $60 for Final Fantasy 1, and you could get the same amount of playtime out of, let's say, Mega Man 2. Or if you were to play from beginning to end Mega Man 2, the amount of time that it would take you to beat Final Fantasy 1 the first time around, you would probably have to play Mega Man 2 like 50 times. So you're getting your money's worth. But then when you got games where it's like, oh, it's not even really finished, you got to buy DLC if you want to finish the game, or if you want to actually understand the story about what's going on. Pokemon is guilty of all these things. I mean, well, not all of them. Like, they haven't done DLC and all that crap. But then they started doing that crap that Dragon Quest did, and I think it's terrible what Dragon Quest did. It's great in Japan. I think it's brilliant for Japan. Makes no sense for North America at all. At least not for hardly everywhere. Where you got these giveaways. Oh, show up and you can do a giveaway and join. In principle, I think that's a great idea. Oh, you can only get this unique thing if you go to this thing. And it's free. You know, all you got to do is show up and some game store is hosting a thing, and I think that's great in principle. But what does it become? Oh, you can only get 100% in a game if you go to a convention that costs like $80, and then you go to a room with a bajillion guys where you have to do tons and tons of waiting in line. Yes, just like what Mark said. Tons and tons of waiting in line in order to get this stupid crap to finish the game. And then you got crap like Mountain Dew. Oh, buy a Mountain Dew, you get a frickin' storyline quest for Destiny. Or, like, I don't care about getting double XP in Call of Duty. Fine. I think that's okay. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. But as soon as you get to the point where it's like, oh, well, you can't get all the quests unless you go to some stupid convention that is completely oversaturated and nothing like what it was when it first started. Like, why were conventions first started? So that way, you know, nerds can get together and talk about things that they want to talk about and that they like. What is it now? Money. Just printing money. That's all it is, printing money, nothing else. It's not about culture, it's not about the fans, it's not about having a good time. It's about money. There's some companies out there that do things that are great, but the problem is they're just so few and far between. Player defeated rival bitch. And there's still more things that are wrong with gaming today. Like, I wouldn't say that the young people themselves are the problem, but I would say that young people, because they're younger and their minds are more malleable, are more open to suggestion. So the more these companies just push and push and push and push, it's like new Pokemon game, but we got this feature and you got to go to conventions, blah, 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 blah. It's becoming more acceptable, and it's okay. And then when your fan base of these kids is getting older, becoming 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, whatever, they're at the point where they already accept things. And you could add more bullshit, like Final Fantasy games, how they are now, and they'll just buy it up, and they'll eat it up. Ugh, I can't wait to watch this, and then just, like, be mad at myself. I said I don't rant and stuff anymore, but I just proved myself wrong.